I honestly think he's just an extreme narcissist who loves power.
Jaguar Wright is on the scene again, spilling the tea like there's no tomorrow. Brace yourselves, because this time it's all about Diddy and his alleged Illuminati mentor, Clive Davis.
I honestly think he's just an extreme narcissist who loves power. He loves the ability to manipulate and control people. Why? Most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, who loved to control people.
And his mentor was
Andre Harrell.
Tell us how
who
was
was
he
mentored by Clive Davis.
Oh.
So you all know Diddy, the music mogul who went from nothing to a billionaire boss. But hold on to your hats, because according to Jaguar Wright, there might be more to his success story than meets the eye. She's pointing fingers at none other than Clive Davis, the legendary music executive. Yeah, the same Clive Davis who's been in the game for ages, rubbing shoulders with the crème de la crème of Hollywood. Now, what's the tea? Well, Jaguar is suggesting that Clive might have initiated Diddy into the Illuminati using some seriously secret and mystical practices. We're talking about the kind of stuff that only the A-listers of A-listers would know about. Picture this: a world of hidden rituals, mysterious symbols, and a dash of Hollywood's finest elite. Sounds like a blockbuster movie, doesn't it? But here's the kicker. Despite all the scandals, accusations, and rumors thrown at Diddy over the years, he's managed to slip through the legal cracks. Why? According to Jaguar, it's all thanks to Clive Davis. She's convinced that Clive played a crucial role in shaping Diddy's success, shielding him from the consequences of his alleged misdeeds. A mentor or a puppet master? We're about to dive deep into the shadows to find out. And speaking of shadows, Jaguar's not stopping there. She believes that Diddy's rise to power and wealth came at a hefty cost. A cost paid in the form of services to some of Hollywood's most influential male celebrities. Yeah, you heard it right. We're talking about a currency more valuable than gold in Tinseltown, favors and connections with the big shots. So what's Clive Davis got to do with all of this? How high was the price Diddy had to pay for his fortune and fame? And are those alleged Illuminati connections the shield that's kept him untouchable in the eyes of the law? Stick around, because we're unraveling the threads of this Hollywood mystery right here, right now. Jaguar Wright isn't holding back, and she's dropping bombshells left and right. According to her, Diddy's untouchable status isn't just about business savvy, it's about the dark arts of Hollywood, taught by none other than Clive Davis himself. Now, get this. Clive Davis, the mentor of legends like Diddy and Andre Harrell, wasn't just handing out business tips and career advice. No. According to Jaguar, he was also the maestro behind a sinister symphony, teaching Diddy the twisted ways of human trafficking. Yeah, you heard it here first. A mentorship in the shady side of life.
My focus right now is Sean Combs.
Okay. Tell us why.
Because he's a sex trafficker. And he's using music and entertainment to sex traffic.
And if you've been keeping up with the latest Diddy drama, you know it's been raining lawsuits. Cassie, Diddy's ex, dropped a legal bomb accusing him of unspeakable horrors, allegations of abuse, trafficking, and turning a decade of her life into a nightmare. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through Hollywood, making Diddy the official Flash Gordon of settlements. 24 hours after Cassie filed, his lawyers were speed dialing her for negotiations. Blink, and you might have missed it, a settlement for an undisclosed amount, rumored to be north of $30 million. Now, let's be real, folks. You don't drop that kind of cash if you're innocent, right? But wait, there's more. This lawsuit was just the tip of the iceberg. It opened a can of worms that has Diddy swimming in legal trouble. 2 more lawsuits hit him like a ton of bricks, accusing him of various degrees of abuse and molestation. First up on the docket, Joy Dickerson-Neal, a former video vixen for Diddy, stepping into the legal arena with some serious claims. Joy's lawsuit is a shocker, alleging that back in 1991, Diddy attacked her, leaving her with substantial and lifelong injuries. According to her, she was invited to a dinner in the Big Apple by Diddy himself. Sounds innocent enough, right? Well, not so fast. Minutes into the dinner, Joy claims Diddy spiked her drink and whisked her away to an apartment, where unspeakable acts unfolded. She was allegedly drugged, assaulted, and became a victim of revenge. Talk about a horror story. But here's where it gets even more twisted. Joy says she was so intoxicated that she couldn't even stand or defend herself. And wait for it, she alleges that Diddy filmed the entire ordeal. The plot thickens, my friends. Joy only found out about the video when it mysteriously found its way back to her through her male friends. Diddy's lawyers are crying foul, calling it a money grab, but Joy's not backing down. She's demanding her day in court, insisting that her claims are far from baseless. And if that wasn't enough, here comes lawsuit round 2, filed by an unnamed woman known as Jane Doe. In her legal bombshell, Jane Doe claims that Diddy and musician Aaron Hall took turns assaulting her and her friend. Rewind to 1990. They're all allegedly at a music industry event, and the night takes a dark turn when the women are invited back to Aaron Hall's apartment. The details are chilling, and the accusations are sending shockwaves through the industry. Now, Diddy's legal team is, of course, doing damage control, calling these allegations baseless. But Jane Doe is standing firm, ready to expose the truth. It's a legal showdown, and Hollywood's holding its breath to see how this drama unfolds. Now, let's rewind to Jane Doe's lawsuit. She claims that after being invited to Aaron Hall's apartment, Diddy and Aaron allegedly forced themselves on the women in a horrifying turn of events. But that's not where the nightmare ends. Jane Doe alleges that Diddy showed up at her place a few days later, and things took a violent turn. She claims he choked her so hard that she blacked out on the floor, leading her to seek medical attention for her recovery. It's a chilling account that's sending shockwaves through the industry. But wait, there's more. The plot thickens as people from Diddy's past step into the spotlight. Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, who found himself right in the center of Cassie's lawsuit, has come forward to share his side of the story. Cassie accused Bonds of witnessing Diddy physically assaulting her in 2009 at a club in LA. According to her, Bonds tried to intervene to stop the attack. Bonds, in response, posted cryptic messages online stating that he's speaking his truth for the sake of his daughters and shedding light on what he witnessed for years. The details remain elusive, but one thing's clear. There's more to this story than meets the eye. Now, let's get real, folks. These lawsuits aren't popping up out of thin air. There's a cloud of accusations hovering over Diddy, and rumor has it this is just the beginning. Brace yourselves for more legal storms, possibly from men, the industry's worst-kept secret, Diddy's infamous parties. They're allegedly a creepy, abusive affair, and more men like Fabulous are stepping forward with tales from the shadows. Fabulous, who once spilled the beans on being invited to one of Diddy's parties after a spat, might just be the tip of the iceberg. The word on the street is that these accusations are just the beginning, and we're about to witness Hollywood's dark underbelly exposed like never before. Stick around, because this ride is far from over. Fabulous, the rapper, spilled the tea on one of Diddy's all-male shindigs, and let me tell you, it was steamier than a sauna. He couldn't handle the level of intimacy and had to pull a Houdini to escape early. Sounds like a scene out of a Hollywood blockbuster, doesn't it?
Just see where I look back on where I became.
Did you miss me though? For real, because it seems like a thing.
I miss
this
partying
birthday
with
party,
Puff, man.
Man, but I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party, you know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother.
Oh,
Eyes. I understand.
But Fabulous isn't the only one dishing the dirt. Rapper Exhibit shared a similar tale, claiming Diddy once dragged him to a male gay club for a night out. And then there's comedian Fat Drew, who stumbled upon a jaw-dropping scene at one of Diddy's Miami parties. According to him, Diddy had hired male models, and the party was a hotbed of music executives getting cozy with each other and the hired talent. Now, here's where it gets murky. It's not about the nature of these parties, but the allegations of abuse and exploitation. According to Fat Drew, Diddy allegedly subjected male sex workers he hired for these parties to unspeakable acts. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, spilled the beans, claiming Diddy would drug these workers and record them without consent. And brace yourselves, folks. Hosting these gay parties was apparently one of Diddy's favorite pastimes.
I knew I used to wait outside of Turkish baths for him. You know what they do in the Turkish baths?
No, I don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay. That's where a lot of gay men meet. And they all take hot baths together.
But the plot thickens even more. Jaguar Wright, never one to mince words, believes Diddy is exploiting young men in the industry under the guise of mentorship. She shared a shocking anecdote from a female lawyer at Bad Boy Records who claimed to have walked in on Diddy receiving certain favors from the aspiring Christopher Williams, who was hoping for a record deal. According to Jaguar, this is all about power and making others feel small, a dark legacy passed down from mentor to mentee. And guess where this twisted mentorship cycle began? Andre Harrell learned it from his mentor, Clive Davis, the music mogul who, in 2013, came out as bisexual in his memoir, The Soundtrack of My Life. The connections are getting crazier, and we're just scratching the surface of the Hollywood maze.
After my second marriage failed, because I had been 100% heterosexual up until that point, that I opened myself up after the failure of my second marriage. Having read something about bisexuality, my story was different. I just found that I would open myself up to the possibility of a relationship based on the person and not on gender.
Now, let's connect the dots. One of those men in the industry may very well have been none other than Diddy. Their paths crossed in the early 90s when Diddy was still hustling under Andre Harrell at Uptown Records. But when Andre showed him the exit in 1993, citing the famous line, "There can't be two kings in a castle," Diddy didn't fade into obscurity. Nope. In just 2 weeks, he launched his own record label and swiftly overtook Uptown Records. The missing link in this puzzle? Clive Davis. Their professional relationship seems straightforward, but why the lightning-fast rise for Diddy? Well, in 2019, Diddy spilled the tea in a tribute to Clive, saying, "Clive Davis and Arista Records gave me a chance when I was starting Bad Boy Entertainment. He was one of the first industry executives to really believe in me." Clive Davis, with a resume that boasts successful labels like Columbia, Arista, BMG, and Sony, not to mention launching legends like Janis Joplin, Bruce Springsteen, Whitney Houston, Notorious B.I.G., and Kelly Clarkson. But here's where it gets juicy. Jaguar Wright has a theory. She believes Diddy in 1993 wasn't just a small fish catching Clive's attention. No, rumor has it that Diddy had already taken Andre Harrell's place as Clive's confidant, and more, even before the Bad Boy vision was born. Whispers in the wind suggest that Diddy might have been doing some extra special favors for Clive, possibly getting on his knees, if you catch my drift. So when Andre showed Diddy the door, it was Clive who orchestrated the rise of Bad Boy Entertainment, making Diddy bigger and more successful than Uptown Records ever dreamed of being. According to Jaguar, Clive took Diddy under his wing, but with a hefty price tag, absolute loyalty, and a willingness to do whatever Clive desired. It's a narrative where Diddy is not just an artist under a mentor's guidance. He's a player in a much darker game. Let's rewind to 1991, a year that left a tragic mark on Diddy's career. The infamous City College incident during a charity basketball game he hosted resulted in 9 deaths, including a child and the pregnant girlfriend of Father MC, signed to Uptown Records. While multiple sources pointed fingers at Diddy for overbooking the event and lacking proper security measures, he denied responsibility, and with Clive's supposed influence, he managed to sweep the tragedy under the rug. And here's where it gets sinister. Jaguar suggests that Clive, with his power and influence, operates as a puppet master in Hollywood, determining who rises and who falls in the industry. Allegedly, those who aren't willing to participate in his politics and rituals find themselves on the outs. But Diddy, according to Jaguar, was always down for whatever Clive wanted. The Illuminati allegations surrounding Diddy aren't new, considering the swirling conspiracies of gay cults, trafficking, and murder. But Clive Davis isn't immune to Illuminati whispers either, largely stemming from his alleged involvement in Whitney Houston's tragic death. In this narrative, Hollywood becomes a chessboard, and Clive holds the key to the game. Diddy, willingly or not, is a pawn in this intricate dance of power and secrecy. The question remains, how far does this puppet master relationship go? And what other dark secrets lie hidden in the shadows of Hollywood? Hold on to your seats, because we're diving into the murky waters of Whitney Houston's tragic demise and the whispers that Clive Davis might have played a sinister role. Whitney's death in her bathtub at the Beverly Hilton Hotel in 2012 sent shockwaves through the industry, but what unfolded later raised more than a few eyebrows. Picture this. On the very day Whitney's lifeless body was discovered, Clive Davis was downstairs at the same hotel, prepping for his pre-Grammy party. Shockingly, even after learning about Whitney's death, Clive decided to proceed with the festivities while her body lay upstairs. The authorities later ruled her death a drug-related accidental drowning, but the industry raised an eyebrow. How could they party on in the face of such tragedy? And guess who was right there, partying just as hard? Diddy. Rumors swirled that Whitney might have been sacrificed for the industry's gain. Some believed Clive, who owned Whitney Houston's estate royalties, might have had a hand in it. The whispers went further, suggesting that Clive was tired of Whitney, considering her age and alleged problems, and wanted to replace her with Brandy. These weren't just idle rumors. A private investigator named Paul Huball stepped into the scene, claiming through his investigation that Whitney's death couldn't have been accidental. He alleged that drug dealers owed $1.5 million by Whitney were involved, and defensive wounds on her suggested a struggle for her life. Now, here's the chilling detail that adds another layer to this Hollywood thriller. 2 days before Whitney's death, she allegedly crashed an interview between Clive and Brandy, passing Brandy a secret note. The plot thickens, and the question remains: was Whitney's tragic end just a series of unfortunate events, or was there a more sinister force at play, orchestrating the downfall of a legend for the rise of another? The note passed from Whitney Houston to Brandy 2 days before Whitney's tragic death adds a chilling element to this Hollywood saga. While we can't confirm its content, sources suggest it was a warning to Brandy about Clive Davis. Now, let's talk about another artist whose demise raises eyebrows: Left Eye Leah Lopez. Her fatal accident in 2002, supposedly a result of losing control of her rental SUV, sparked rumors that Clive might have been involved. Some believe it was a setup to cover up her true cause of death. Diddy and Clive are no strangers to rumors swirling around mysterious deaths or disappearances. From Kim Porter to Tupac and Biggie, Diddy has faced his fair share of murder accusations. Recent evidence tying Diddy to Tupac's death and new connections between Tupac and Biggie's deaths have fueled speculation that justice might finally catch up with Diddy. But despite the bombshell lawsuit dropped by Cassie, Diddy remains untouched by investigations. TMZ initially reported that the NYPD had opened case files on Diddy, only to later retract the statement, with the NYPD confirming they weren't investigating him. It's a bizarre turn of events that leaves many scratching their heads. In any other scenario, an average individual might be locked away by now, but Diddy seems untouchable. This brings us back to Jaguar Wright's explosive allegations that Diddy's protection comes from higher-ups in the music industry, pulling strings so thick they can make entire criminal investigations disappear. Jaguar's words about the industry have been far from flattering, and yet she remains a voice that people trust. The absence of legal repercussions against her fuels the belief that there might be truth in her claims. As the online community speculates on Diddy's legal future, one thing is clear: this might just be the tip of the iceberg. With the curtain pulled back, exposing the dark underbelly of Hollywood, who knows what revelations lie ahead? Well, gossip enthusiasts, we've just embarked on a roller coaster of Hollywood intrigue, and the ride is far from over. Tupac rumors, Cassie's bombshell lawsuit, consider those the opening acts, and we're just getting started. It seems like there's more drama waiting in the wings for Diddy and Clive Davis. Now, I'm turning the spotlight to you. Do you think Clive Davis intentionally groomed Diddy to be his industry successor? Are they using their joint influence to navigate out of sticky situations unscathed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.